afternoon, everybody. My name is Stephen Beecham, producer of the Byte Extra Crunchy podcast, with your host, Mr. Brian Tong.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It is episode 104, Byte Extra Crunchy, keeping it extra munchy with you here in studio, in the flesh. This is an Byte show, but there was a Google event this week, and we will talk about some of that stuff that dropped. But we're here in the live show, and let's be honest, the flow is just better when we're in the same room.
It's way better. It sounds better.
Oh, it sounds
People complain about
better.
the sound.
It sounds so good. It sounds so good. So anyways, everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for listening in. As usual, we are at episode 104. We love how you guys and gals continue to call in and be a part of the show. The number to call us at, 1-800-616-2638. I'm going to give you time right now to add that to your phone.
Lock it in.
Pick it up. 1-800-616-2638. I said that very slow. I don't do that all the time. You guys and gals, call, tell us who you are, where you're from, and get your points or your comments. We love it. We've also had people kind of respond and follow up with tips or information. It makes our show whole, and we just want to say thank you so much. We also, I think, from both myself and Steven, wanted to just quickly say how lucky we get to do this show and how we feel, because we know there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in this world. Vegas, Puerto Rico, recovery in Florida, Houston, in this like Southeast Asia areas. I mean, they've been flooded as well. We don't, sometimes these things are forgotten, but we get to talk about tech, man.
Yeah.
We get to talk about tech and rant and rave about this stuff and have fun doing it. And so we just wanted to offer a little perspective here.
Yeah. Thank you guys all for watching, tuning in every week. It's awesome.
So thank you. And, I think you guys and gals all kind of also, we're able to kind of escape some of this stuff through tech. So let's get into the show. And really, to kick things off, we did want to bring kind of a this day in history for the Apple world today. As of at least this Thursday, the show, most of you will hear this after Thursday, is the 6th anniversary of the death of Steve Jobs. Believe it or not.
6 years, man.
6 years. On October the 5th, Tim Cook also today just posted a little tweet saying, remembering Steve today, still with us, still inspiring us, using a quote from SJ, make something wonderful and put it out there.
Oh, yeah.
So that was words from Tim Cook, the successor to Steve Jobs. And just kind of a note, just something to think about. And obviously, around this time is, right, we're talking about the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. But what happened this week was that Google had their own keynote, and they dropped a lot of stuff and really aimed directly at Apple. I don't know if you could feel that during the keynote, Beach.
Oh, there are plenty of jabs at Apple during the keynote, man.
little bob and weave, jab here, duck, up and under. So what we want to do is kind of talk about a few of the things that they put out there and how it does compare with some of the things that Apple has out there. Google announced their new Pixel 2 phones. They announced their new Google Home Max, Google Home Mini. They put out a Pixelbook. They put out their own wireless earbuds, just what we like to call a cornucopia of products. So I thought it was actually a really impressive keynote, and it had a different vibe. Apple's keynotes are starting to feel a little stale, like it's the same style and delivery and stuff.
Yeah.
And Google's like, I'm not saying you need a live DJ to make a keynote exciting, but it did add some flavor to it, don't you think?
Oh yeah, the live DJs were cool, and they were like
working on tablets and like punch them out.
Stuff. It was cool.
It was cool. So let's forget about the presentation. Let's talk about the actual products. The first one that stuck out to me the most had to be Google's Home Max. This is their home smart speaker. It's a large size speaker, larger than the HomePod. But why did it stick out for me? Look, it has 2 woofers. It's larger in size. It has the Google Assistant. So if we talk about Google Assistant versus Siri, we know, come on, Google Assistant is a better product right now. Although Siri has gone better, Google Assistant is just a better product.
Yeah.
All right. In addition to that, you can stand it. You can lay it down sideways. You can stand it up vertically if you wanted to. You can pair them to have 2 speakers side by side, much like they're encouraging people to do with a HomePod. The price point is a little more. It's $399, but I loved how it looked. Like, to me, fabric is the new black. Like, everything we're seeing is fabric covered.
Yeah.
Speakers, home audio assistants. Amazon dropped a bunch of stuff last week. They had a bunch of fabric-covered stuff. Google has their own fabric-covered speaker. It looks great. It is a little more, but when I saw what it could do and just this, the size of it, it's honestly going to be a better product standalone versus Apple's.
I gotta admit, when I saw Diplo had 2 of them for his DJ setup, I was kind of jealous. I'm like, I want that setup,
right? Man. That looked
look cool.
Like, come on, you're not gonna put 2 big fabric marshmallows on the side of your DJ table.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't look, and there is a certain design aesthetic that Apple is going for, but let's even just forget about how they look. Although look is very important, the tech inside is better on the Google Home Max. So I thought that was something that surprised me, and the presentation of it was like really nice. It does also have the ability to detect the room that you're in and automatically adjust. That was kind of a big feature that Apple is pulling for. And the other thing that I think that we have to pay attention to is Apple still looks like it's going to be specific to the Apple Music service, which is great if you use it. But typically in Android fashion, they've been able to be compatible with lots of services right out of the gate. And I'm not saying, yeah, you can always pair your phone to these Bluetooth speakers and control them from their individual apps, but it's different when you can talk to the speaker directly and say, use Spotify to play this playlist.
Yeah.
You know,
the Echo does that stuff too.
Yep.
Which is cool. You can play Spotify, Pandora. There's
TuneIn
a bunch.
Radio.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
All kinds. And
Google was kind of launching with a lot of those same partners too. They had TuneIn, Pandora, or I don't know if they had Pandora, but they had Spotify and stuff like that. So it's cool. And then just YouTube in general, music on YouTube. There's like every song almost in the world is on YouTube somehow, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's really interesting that they threw their hat into the table, and it really does look like a better product out of the gates. Okay, let's keep on moving down the line. I think you have to talk about the Pixel 2 phone. Specifically, what is it going to be matched up against? The Pixel 2 XL is going to be matched up with the iPhone X or iPhone 10. iPhone 10. Say iPhone 10. Visually, I think the phone looks fine. There's no way it competes in design with the actual iPhone 10. There's just no way it can do that based on the design. I'm not even a big, it's got to be bezel-less. It's got to be bezel-less. It's a nice design, but it doesn't. The iPhone 10 looks better. Do you agree?
I agree. It looks like, when I first saw it, I was like, it looks kind of like a cookie or something. It has like a Christmas cookie, or just. I do like the little colored buttons on the side. The brightly colored, but that's just like a little flashy thing. But yeah, I mean, the iPhone definitely looks a lot more slick.
Yeah,
a lot more futuristic.
It's gonna look like it's especially with that notch that I love so much.
That's right.
But from a standpoint of just tech inside, look, the iPhone is going to be faster. The iPhone screen is going to be better. So when you talk about in general the hardware, the iPhone has the edge. But this is what Google has done now 2 years in a row. Where does it excel? It excels with its voice in 3 things actually. Its voice assistant, it excels with its camera, and it excels with kind of just new unique software features. Like when Google started their keynote, they talked about how now these days phones are all about the same when it comes to hardware. I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, sure, to a certain degree, but it's coming down to now software features that you bring to the table that work with the hardware. And it's really funny to hear Google say that, because this is really where Apple's bread and butter was years ago, mixing hardware and software together to deliver cool, unique solutions. I think that from the software side, Apple hasn't felt like it's really changed too much drastically or given us many new things that were like, oh, whoa. But when we saw the keynote for the Google Pixel 2 phone line, we've seen it in other companies, but squeezing to prompt the assistant, having the screen always on, and actually having the phone be always listening and being able to show you songs that it hears directly on the screen without you having to unlock it at all. Like a always on Shazam on your screen. I thought that was actually really cool.
I thought that was really cool too. Yeah,
really cool.
They had a real big focus on artists, musical artists, which was awesome. So you're gonna be able to find music easier, like circling a guy's picture, and then it shows you his album and all his social networks and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they're just little bells and whistles. Look, none of this is gonna stop people that are listening here from completely jumping over. I saw that phone and I said to myself, man, I wish I could leave the ecosystem to give this a true shot. Maybe I just have to go a full week with the Pixel 2 and just talk about it. I think that would be good. You know,
we since we work here, you know, we use Google Docs, so we're kind of in that whole Google ecosystem, and that's one thing they need to improve big time because, like Google Drive and Google Sheets and stuff like that, they don't work very good on the iOS app or anything, or like on a phone app in general. So that's something they need to improve, and they have me because I use Google Docs a lot. Yeah, you know, so they have me there. But like just not other places. It's weird. And I think
I actually think it's in a weird way. I think it's kind of deliberate.
You think so? Because they want it to be like
they want you to, you know, what? It's not that they're drastically different, but it is easy. I really only use Google Docs for me on either a tablet or a computer. I don't use it on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I use it on my phone, but I can only just read stuff. Yeah, you know, I can't like edit a spreadsheet on my phone or something. You know what I'm saying?
I can. It just takes a lot of effort.
It's hard, yeah.
It's just not as small. So we have that, but the main thing here, right, the camera quality is what sticks out. I'm only bringing up this not to like brag about the Google Pixel 2 because let's be honest, at the end of the day, I'm going to get an iPhone 10. I will probably get a Pixel 2 for my work phone. But DxOMark had come out with the latest results of the camera performance that are kind of like become this de facto reference site for camera performance in a smartphone. So when the iPhone 8 came out, it was rated the best performing camera that DxOMark has ever seen. The Note 8 came out and it was rated overall because they rate photo and video separately. Overall, the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 was rated equal to the iPhone 8 Plus at a ranking score of 94 that factors in photo performance and video performance. And if I recall right, I believe the Note 8 might have had an edge in photo, but its video performance was so low that it fell out at a 94. Well, the DxOMark score for the Google Pixel 2, which is a single lens camera, this is not a dual lens camera, came in at 98.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So they said they couldn't use any more superlatives to describe how good the video and photo functionality of this phone was. And so you got to think, okay, well, the iPhone 10 is coming out. Where does the iPhone 10 fit in all this? It has a dual lens. It has more technology packed into there's actual processing power and custom silicon in the iPhone 10 to aid in this camera capabilities. I really am curious, where will the iPhone 10 fall? Will it hit a 99? Will it tie, or will it be below? Because we talk about the best camera right now at this day. Google's Pixel 2 has the best camera on the market, and it's a single lens camera. It still does portrait mode because it has a dual pixel sensor that allows it to detect foreground from background. It's not a dual lens, but it has a dual pixel sensor. So I'm just really curious when the iPhone 10 comes out, where it's going to fall.
Yeah.
Like, where will it end up?
Apple guys are, scheming right now. How do we get our score up, guys?
I've heard people.
Just kidding.
Yeah, right. I've heard people here say, "I want the phone with the." Here's the thing. I've heard people here. I won't name names. Say, "I want the phone with the best camera. That's the phone that I'm going to get." But then when it comes down to it, I've never seen them have the phone with the best camera.
Yeah,
right.
They're extremely expensive.
They might say it in this room, but they don't. I always say, back it up. Put your money down. Your own bread and butter, not like a loaner from the companies. Put down your own money, and that'll tell me if you really follow through with that statement, right? And so it shows the power of the ecosystem. Google may have the best camera in the market, but do you think that half of users that say, I will buy the phone with the best camera are going to jump over to the Pixel 2? Not yet.
I don't think so. Not everyone, a lot of people don't even care. We're not all professional photographers out setting our apertures and stuff, so I don't think a lot of people care. They just want a phone that's going to be fast, easy to use, and, reliable, basically.
Yep. So it's just, ultimately, it's a great offering from the phone. It has unique software and it has the best camera in the market. That was very cool. We also saw Google kind of try and take on Apple with the wireless earbuds segment. And I thought it was probably the most exciting. When we talk about, look, I think now these days we really aren't wowed by hardware as much as we are with software features. We aren't. We just aren't, right? So they showed off their Google Pixel Buds, $159, same price as AirPods, But what do they have? Sure, they have a wire that connects the two, but it has instant live on the spot translation. They showed this crazy demo of these two people talking to each other, one with the Pixel Buds in, speaking English, and I think, what was the other person doing? Were they speaking Danish or?
Yeah.
Is it German?
I thought it was German.
Might have been German.
Yeah, but
so they were speaking German. We're just making up stuff, and it was a real time translation between the two people. We had our own editors on site. Sean Hollister was speaking Japanese to Lexi Savides, who was speaking English, and it was translating in real time. One person had the Pixel Buds on, the other one had the phone. I just thought that was awesome.
And it's fast too.
Yes.
I was shocked at how fast it was. It seemed like such a seamless,
a second or two, not even two.
It was such a natural conversation that we're having. So I was like, that is incredible,
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. So again, those are cool things that as tech lovers, whether you're Apple or Google or Samsung, wherever you are, you've got to be like, dang, that was impressive. So
everyone in the chat room saying Swedish. So we both were wrong. Swedish.
Oh, it was Swedish.
Yes.
It wasn't Germanish.
No, it wasn't Germanish.
Not
Germanish
or Danish.
Swedish.
Sweet.
Yes.
Sweet.
Shout out to the sounds in Sweden. What's up?
Sweet. So I think a lot of people were, I don't care where you're from, that was just impressive. They have more touch controls and they have a prompt to the Google Assistant. They may not be as, actually, I don't know. I think they technically look a little better, but they do have a cord connecting them. So I do wear AirPods. I do have the Q-tips coming out of my ears. I still think they look ridiculous. I will never stop saying that. But
the cable's a safety measure, though, too. It holds them on your, if they come out of your ears, it's going to stay on your head.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So they also put that out. I'm not going to dig too much into the Pixelbook. I thought the Pixelbook was really cool, but it wasn't a standout for me only because it's a 2-in-1 convertible laptop with a touchscreen, with a pen. Apple obviously is stuck to their guns of saying, we just want to give you a touch bar, which everyone that I talk to now after using it over time has said it's lame. Like every single person, when I first saw it, my gut instinct was, I'm not going to use that. You're only forced to use it to change the volume, which you have to like go into the setting and then you have to do 2 taps just to get to the volume change. Like it has no haptic feedback. There's just too much stuff going. I don't know. I don't think it has changed anything in my workflow, and most people will agree. I feel like 99% of people say, yeah, the touch bar was a miss.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't heard anyone say I love it. It's great. I'm sure we'll get some calls or emails now, but
it's fine if you love it. I want to know, but a lot of people said they loved it in the first week, and then afterwards, after they got over the hype, they're like, I don't even really use this thing. Yeah. And you have to like give a lot of these products a little time and breathing room. Look at what happens after Apple has a keynote and people are in the review room right after the keynote. They are like sucking apples, you know what? And it's like, come on. It's just right there. You don't know all the devil in the details yet. You haven't used it for like a week and you're just like, oh, like there's great products. The Apple Watch Series 3 LTE, if you use it to its max, when I say that, in that ideal situation for an hour where you're working out and you want to get your phone and your text, it is an amazing product, but not everyone does that. And if you don't, it's probably not for you. But for me, I think it's pretty amazing to me.
Cool.
Because of how how it always comes down to now these days, how you use the product. So the Pixelbook, $999, the MacBook, Apple's only offering that's around that price is $999 for the MacBook Air. But this is where it comes down to it. Chrome OS on the Pixelbook is like a web browser.
It's doo-doo, right?
It's not doo-doo. It's like a very lightweight operating system where it's like, hey, you do email and you do web browsing and some basic photo editing. That's about it.
That was like the big drawback was what people were
they're good for schools. Like this Pixelbook is, the design and the functionality is nice, but if I can't run any high-end apps whatsoever on it, it does nothing for me. So it's funny, someone threw out the comment like, you might complain about how Apple overprices things, but they would never charge $999 for a laptop that's just a web browser. And that was funny,
That's a good one.
Because a MacBook Air at $999, you can still do. It may not be the most powerful machine, but you can still do pretty much everything that a laptop actually does. So, we'll see how it all shakes out. But that was just kind of some of the breakdown. I thought that overall, Google is as they've kind of taken over and used a little identity of what Apple has done, controlling hardware and software. You can see how it is positively changing the direction of their company from a product standpoint.
Yeah.
Like they're starting to get mature and coming out with some really cool stuff, and Apple should be aware. Apple's going to sell more. Apple will most likely sell more Home Pods versus Google's Home Max, but I think the Google Home Max is a better product. Like that happens a lot in the industry.
The whole thing yesterday just felt cohesive, like even down to the colors of all their products. They're all the same colors from the headset to the Google Home, the Google Home speakers. It just all felt very cohesive. Like, here's our line of stuff for this year. It was cool.
It's very good. So kudos to them, and best of luck. We'll see that if there are people. I had no idea people had issues actually getting the original Pixel XL.
Really?
I had no idea how hard it was. I got it like the first week, and I was like, this is dope.
Yeah, I'm clueless on that.
For my work phone, that is. Okay, let's kind of move and groove along. This is a little update to let you all know what's happening kind of outside of the Apple world. There was a recent vulnerability in Mac OS X High Sierra that we talked about, how someone could put like nefarious code and be able to access your passwords and whatnot. There's actually another vulnerability that was just updated recently as of, I believe, today. Apple released a supplemental update to Mac OS High Sierra, actually 10.1.3, Mac OS High Sierra 10.13. It's the first update to the operating system that was released to the public. Now, this update comes about a week after the initial release of Mac OS High Sierra. This will basically support and cover a software vulnerability that could expose the passwords of encrypted Apple file system volumes in just pure plain text through the Disk Utility app. So they threw out this supplemental patch that is out there. I suggest if you have High Sierra, you definitely go and get this. This does not address the last vulnerability we talked about, but that's more you have to know the code to actually activate it, and the ex-NSA hacker who was able to figure this out has made Apple aware of it, and they're going to work on a fix. There's not like he's going to publish that code and say, hey, this is how you can get into everyone's computer. But at least this new recent keychain vulnerability has been patched with this new update. So just the little things like to know, like, okay, maybe you should get on that. In addition to that, iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus, we talked about this kind of crackling noise that happened to some users when they're on phone calls. That has been updated with 11.0.2. That was just recently released, if you have seen that or not. The thing, though, that I still can't not figure out, I just don't know. My battery is still getting destroyed by iOS 11. I remember in past iOSs that, after about a week, they said it was like optimizing the system and whatnot. But my battery still is crap in iOS 11, and they haven't addressed a specific update to that. And that's really what they need to do.
Are there apps like following your location or something? Because sometimes, like after you do these big updates, it defaults some of your apps back on to following your location around.
I mean, I've checked most of them. I think the most disconcerting thing is I was on a plane ride that was only 45 minutes. I had my phone in airplane mode. I was only playing music, and I had the screen off, and I was literally flying probably 40, 45 minutes tops. It was coming over here, right?
Yeah. That's a quick flight.
My phone used 20% of my battery doing that.
Just listening to music?
Yes, with airplane mode on
insane.
For roughly 40 minutes. That's never happened before.
Yeah.
That has never happened before in the entire time I've ever used my phone. And so I was like, dang, I find myself in normal use, looking down at my phone around 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's already down to like 30, 40%. That never happened before either.
Usually you can listen to the music app for hours and hours, and it'll like take 2% off your battery.
That's what I'm saying. It's
crazy.
Significantly different. I know people are still experiencing this. Some people are not, but a lot of people are. So we just need to call out Apple and be like, are you going to give us a software update or not? Like get on that already. We're waiting for you guys to just address it. And people on a 6 and a 6S, they're just like hating life right now still.
I haven't updated because I've been hearing all these problems.
I think it's super smart. I think you are the smartest person in this room.
Thanks.
There have been more reports also with the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. This is not a widespread issue, but it is happening to a small group of them, and they are increasing. Right now, I think there's only been maybe 5 or 6 documented cases that we know about that people have come forward with. But what is happening, potentially, Apple is aware of this and looking into it. during something is going on with a select few or maybe a specific batch of lithium ion batteries.
Oh man.
Whereas it is causing, whether it's not, it doesn't look like it's necessarily heat, but it might be related to that, or when the battery's actually charging. It has been shown in different cases where the actual iPhone 8 Pluses, the metal is bursting open because of this.
Yeah, that sounds like the Note, the last Note problem. It sounds similar.
At least they're not setting on fire. Yeah, they're not exploding and setting on fire, but there are multiple pictures of iPhone 8 Pluses. Sometimes people have opened them up from the package and they've arrived like this, burst open. One gentleman plugged it in overnight and then it burst open, but there is something with a specific batch of batteries that is causing them to swell and burst open this iPhone 8 Plus phone. So just want to let y'all know, just want to let y'all be aware of it. This is not a battery gate or anything, unlike iOS 11. That's battery gate right there. I'm more than comfortable calling that battery gate.
That's funny.
That's just poo-poo.
My 3GS did that.
What happened to
way
it?
back in the day, but I'd already had it for like 2 or 3 years.
It
and it was
swelled?
pretty old. Yeah, it swelled up. Like I had it turned off for a while because it was just giving me a lot of problems. It wouldn't charge, this and that. And then I plugged it in one day and it just expanded in front of me and exploded. It didn't like explode, burst into flames.
But it opened.
But it opened up.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
It's the same way like this did. That was a 3GS, but I'd already owned it for like 2 or 3 years, been using it a lot. So, I didn't really think anything of it. I just threw it away or I recycled it or whatever, but
never underestimate the power of batteries.
Yeah, batteries are dangerous, man.
They're kind of crazy. They power a mini computer in your pocket. That's just all. That's just all they do, right?
Yeah.
Apple has released Watch OS 4.0.1. I'm loving this one. This is the fix to the issue where when you're connected to your phone and then it's looking for LTE outside of your phone, the ability for it to switch or not get hung up on public Wi-Fi networks, where it would cause the Apple Watch to basically not connect to anything temporarily or for a good stretch of time, which is what I experienced in my review a lot because I was hanging out with my girlfriend and sometimes she'd have full signal and I would have none, and I would be like, what is going on here? And it's because of that issue. According to them, they have fixed this with 4.0.1. It's an update. You guys can do it. Guys and gals can do it right now. It's obviously through your phone, through the Apple Watch app. But yeah, I'm more than happy about the battery life on this Apple Watch Series 3. It's bomb.
That's nice.
Just in normal use, it is great, whether I have my phone with me or whether I don't. And then also the Nike Watch version of the Apple Watch 3 is in stores now. So in case some of you are waiting for that, you like that Nike integration with their app, and also like basically you get like exclusive watch faces with it from that are part of Nike, and then it comes with the Nike Watch band. It's very similar to what happened with the Series 2. Those are out there in stores now, so you guys can check it out. See if you're down with that.
I thought it was gonna be like the green, like the black and green color.
That was last year. That was last year's Stephen Beacham.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm sorry. You can buy that. You can buy that band though for $50 if you want.
I don't want that green one. No, thanks.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys and gals. I'm gonna tell y'all. Why do I keep on saying guys and gals today? I'm gonna tell you guys and you ladies and gentlemen, a pro tip. Look, if you go on eBay, like seriously, I tried this out to see. Maybe this is really jank or not. They have like replacement Apple Watch bands. And Apple charges $50 for theirs. You can literally get them, and I held them side by side. I closed my eyes. I like felt the material, the thickness, the actual bolts on them. They're like $10 on eBay.
Ooh, yeah, I'm looking at 125 right here.
I mean, those are metal ones, but there's like the rubber. If you type in like Apple Watch rubber, like 42 millimeter, I'm just not gonna go to the Apple store and buy a $50 rubber band anymore. I'm going to go on eBay and get them. There's manufacturers, clearly they're being shipped in from China. They're like replacement bands. It's that top one right there.
Booyah. Rubber soft.
These things literally cost like pennies on the dollar to make. The bolt is literally exactly like what I held up an expensive one side by side. So I'm just saying.
That's cool, man.
It's totally worth it. So I'm gonna get all colored up now.
Yeah, they do all kinds of holiday deals too, man. So get it at a discount.
Look out for your holiday Who wants to talk about? Everyone wants to talk about iPhone 10. Don't you want to talk about iPhone 10?
I can't wait to just see one,
I
hold
know.
one, you know, and see
And
what
like,
it's like.
use it and be annoyed that it takes longer to unlock my phone than it does today. The iPhone 10, Apple has received FCC approval ahead of its October 27th pre-order date. So what this really means is it's gone through a variety of requisite tests that it needs to pass to allow it to be cleared for sale. The good news is that it cleared that. FCC's like, thumbs up. The iPhone 10, we know, we've heard the stories about the production levels of how they are expected to be lower, how it's going to be hard to get. I really think this is going to be a super hard phone to get this year.
Yeah. It's looking like that.
It's just, there's just no way there's not. Another really fun report. We know we have our friend Ming-Chi Kuo, who is with KGI Securities. He put out this report about specifically the true depth camera, right? This is that whole array on the top that people are now, I think a lot of Apple fans are trying to really sell themselves on this and say, it's what makes the iPhone unique from others. And I'm like, bro, it does, just get over yourself. It doesn't look good. But fine, let's forget that. I'm not going to get in a debate about that. I would like to over the phone with someone because you're just crazy. But the true depth camera, we know it has all these sensors like a flood illuminator, a proximity sensor, an infrared camera, ambient light sensor. The technology in it and the way it actually scans your face is unlike anything that is on the market today. It is outright more advanced than what Samsung has. So Ming-Chi Kuo, after looking at the functionality and the user experience, came out with a report that claims it would take probably about 2.5 years, 1 to 2.5 years, for competitors to catch up with what Apple has.
Oh, wow.
That's
interesting.
Again, this is if they want to replicate this true depth sensor, which I kind of laugh at because they have a fingerprint sensor and it works just fine. Like, it's still faster to do a fingerprint sensor. The other thing, though, right, this true depth sensor is front-facing. I think the detail that people aren't really thinking about is that it will also take roughly year to 2.5 years for Android to use animojis.
True.
This is one of the top 3 features that Apple pitched to us about the new iPhone 10, exclusively on the iPhone 10.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I think when Android comes out with it, they're going to call them Andromojis. I made that up.
That's good.
No, it's not funny.
Patented right here.
Andromojis right now?
Yeah.
Should I go? What is it?
We have prior, you can
prior work. What is that called?
Prior artwork.
Prior art. Yeah.
So if someone has a lawsuit, we can say no. What's the date today? October 5th. Apple Byte Extra Crunchy.
Who came out with Wait, hold up. Which show? Which collective started the whole iPhone X revolution?
Dude, I'm gonna be texting you like, we have a lawsuit, Brian. They just called it Android emojis, Andromojis.
Dude, I'm serious. First it's iPhone X, now it's Andromojis. They need to hire us already.
Yeah, what's up?
We're just hire us for coming up with 2 names.
Yeah. We're
Seriously.
cool though. We got, or at least copyright infringement. Come on, we have a lawsuit here.
Come on. Another thing going on with the Apple world, Apple employees are testing Apple Pay Cash internally in iOS 11.1. So the 11.1 beta is out right now. So what they're doing is internally they're giving employees basically kind of like how you have access to the beta with like a special certificate for your phone. They're getting employees this special certificate that gives them access to the pay-to-pay. It's found in the Messages app where we can send money to another Apple user. It has not been rolled out to anyone publicly in any form of public beta, but they have, according to a user on Mac Rumors, it has been confirmed that this is being tested by Apple. It's Apple's Venmo.
I can't wait for this, man.
I think a lot of people are going to use it.
It's going to make a lot of things a lot easier.
I think I don't know. I can't even recall exactly, but if all you know what, instead of actually having to use an Apple Pay app on the bottom bar in Messages, I think that if you have someone's name and you just type in a dollar amount and it instantly will prompt you, like if you want to send it, put your fingerprint on or scan your face for Apple Pay to send it. Like, I don't want to take an extra step to go to the Apple Pay to Pay app on the bottom underneath my Messages. I just want to type in an amount and then send it. That would That would make me use it more than Venmo because it's just quicker.
Totally. You know how there's like all these little...
I don't know, man. I don't know how you guys think about that. But
No, I totally agree. You know how there's like little buttons here, like there's a little camera button
yeah.
and stuff like that? If there just needs to be like a $ button, hit that, type in who you want it to go to, type in the amount, boom!
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Another story here, Samsung, according to the Wall Street Journal, a report by them in partnership with Counterpoint Technology, Samsung is expected to earn $4 billion more making iPhone 10 parts compared to Galaxy S8 parts.
Wow.
So this is because Apple is such a huge customer, right? When you put it in those terms, it's really crazy. So this analysis was put together by Counterpoint Technology on behalf of the Wall Street Journal. They used the prediction based on projected sales in the first 20 months after new phones go on sale. That would be November 3rd for the iPhone 10. That's because this is like kind of the ideal window when people tend to buy a new phone, those first 20 months. Now, they said Counterpoint expects Apple will sell 130 million iPhone 10 units, earning Samsung about $110 on each unit through the summer of 2019. Okay. Again, Apple is expected to sell 130 million units. The Galaxy S8 is expected to sell around 50 million units.
Oh, man.
Now, they are earning more from the S8 because of the prices of the components. But just from that pure sheer number, the iPhone 10 is expected to bring them $4 billion more dollars. I thought another cool point that was mentioned in here is that Samsung executives, as when they talk about this, let's say they're in a business meeting and you pull out a phone and it's not a Samsung phone, it's an iPhone, they're totally okay with it because they consider iPhones their best client. In the report, it says Samsung employees often refer to Apple with code names. One of the most popular is Low, short for lovely opponent.
That's funny, man. I was going to say.
What up, Low?
Like they get $110 for every iPhone they sell. That's you know, it's like why doesn't Samsung help Apple sell iPhones then, you know?
Put them on their website.
Yeah.
Put them on their website.
Do something.
On behalf of our Low.
Yeah.
Low. Oh man, we got like apple bottom jeans. Notes with the curves.
You know, like I don't know. They should just do some marketing thing. You know, I'm sure if they see long lines at the Apple Store, they're like, "Ooh, we're gonna cash in this time."
That's a song right there, man. we just got a song right there. That's easy. I love it though. Low, lovely opponents.
That is good.
I'm gonna use that next time I'm on the court. I'm like, "What up, Low?" Guy's gonna be like, "What? What are you talking about?" You know, lovely opponent.
He's gonna be like, "What?"
He's gonna be like, "I'm gonna kick your ass on the court." All right, this is a fun story. Unfortunately, it literally expired overnight. Apple's known to do this, but just a couple days ago, if you asked Siri what is the national anthem of Bulgaria, the song that came up as a recommendation and a direct link to that song was Despacito. Despacito. You know the song. Siri says the national anthem of Bulgaria is Despacito, when in fact, it is Mila Rodino. We have the evidence, the visual evidence. This was, I guess, originally found on Reddit. It started to spread like wildfire. CNET put it up an article. We tested it yesterday, and then as of this morning, it was changed.
They fixed it
correctly. Apple's been known to do this.
That's funny, man.
Because you know how everyone was calling the iPhone 10 iPhone X? I mean, people are still calling it the iPhone X. Yeah. The general population is calling it the iPhone X. I specifically asked Siri just for fun. I'm like, hey, how do I pre-order the iPhone 10? When you ask it the proper way, Siri used the Roman numeral X, and she would respond, this is how you order the iPhone X. And I was ready. We set up our cameras, do this skit about it, right? And just being like, I told you it was X. I told you. And that, because it worked the day before, that morning they had literally fixed it.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Because, you know, that's just like, when Siri tells you it's X, it's like, I knew it. I knew it.
That makes me feel sorry for the Siri engineers because they're getting a phone call at like midnight. They're like ready to go. They're brushing their teeth. They're like, oh crap, I gotta fix some Bulgaria national anthem. Oh man, okay, I'll do it.
So let's be honest, Apple is listening. Apple is paying attention to what's going on here with Siri.
They are, dude.
They totally are.
That means that they're a little concerned. It seems like,
Oh, totally. I really didn't want the iPhone X, iPhone 10 part. I wanted that mini skit so bad.
That's a bummer.
I wanted that.
Yeah.
That's gold. That's just a gold. That's a mini gold joke.
Well, through the magic of editing, we could probably.
You probably could, but it would be very. Then people would try and be like, "Dude, it doesn't work. What are you talking about?"
Then you'd be getting a bad apple.
I would get a bad apple.
You would get the bad apple.
I would get a bad apple. All right. So we got guys, everybody called in. We love it so much. Again, if you want to be a part of the show, 1-800-616-2638 is the number to call. We have we narrowed it down, obviously, to a few. So I think we're just going to jump into them.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys all for calling. And here we go. Here's the number one caller of the day.
Hey, Brian and Beach. This is Kenny from Texas. Love the show. I'm kind of curious to hear what your thoughts are on the 4 different iPhone 10 models. How would you rank them in order of demand? I've heard different people have different opinions as far as which model, what size and color combination will be the most in demand. So how would you rank the 4 different models in order of demand? Love the show. Take care. Bye.
Man, really, this is... So he wants me to rank the 4 iPhone 10s specifically. So we know that they come in 2 colors and they come in 2 sizes, okay? So, okay, I'm going to pick my carrier. They're silver or space gray. To me, the space grays are going to have a higher... People are going to want those more just because it just looks better.
Yeah.
With the black.
It's also kind of like the classic Apple iPhone color.
Totally. So let's just throw it out here. Silver 64 is most definitely going to be the least popular. Then, quite honestly, I'm going to lean... It depends on how many Apple makes. Are you saying which one sells out first or which one sells the most? Because they're probably going to produce more 64 gig models than they can keep up to produce 256 gig models. There's like a shortage of flash memory going around, so I think that will make it harder as well. I'm going to say this: silver 64, black 64, silver 256, black 256, if you went in order from which sells out first. But in order, if you said which is the most popular, I go silver, silver, black, black.
See, I interpreted this question completely different. I thought he was saying like each iPhone.
But then he said iPhone
SE,
10s.
iPhone, yeah, he said iPhone 10s. So
and
I was thinking like SE 8, 8 Plus, 10. So
well, that would be easy. It would be SE 8, 8 Plus 10.
Is that anything that's a demand? But remember, the SE was like a real popular one. Remember,
No,
it like sold like gangbusters.
I guess I'm saying which ones I would want in the order.
Yeah.
But without a doubt, black 256 will be the hardest one to get, in my opinion.
Totally.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, the big one.
I am disappointed there was no signature color. I think it's just because they couldn't get it done in time, and I think that we'll see a 3rd color sometime in like the next 6 months.
Yeah, they tend to do that with like iPhone
it's like
5C or whatever it was.
Rose Gold?
Rose Gold.
Where's rosé? I want the rosé. I would not be opposed to a rose gold phone.
Neither would I.
But the black just looks so much better.
Yeah.
It just looks complete. I'm gonna slap a dope case on it.
Cool. Oh, sorry. Next call. I'm like looking at the website.
You're all looking at
shopping. I'm shopping.
Yeah, I know. You get lost in the Apple Store has that power. You're like, this looks good. Wow, this looks real good.
It's a cool website.
This looks real good right now.
Okay, here we go. Next question.
Hi guys, this is Jennifer from Oklahoma calling back. I had called last week. You were right. My other question is about the Apple Watch LTE or the regular 3. Would it be, if I'm not planning on using it for cell phone right now, but is it possible to use it and not put it on a plan, and then maybe later put it on a plan when I find I want to use it for voice calls? So anyway, those are my questions. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.
What up, Jennifer? The answer to that is yes, you can. When you set up your Apple Watch to your phone for the first time, it asks you specifically, there's a panel that asks you if you want to set it up for cellular or not. You can skip that step. The only thing that I'm not sure about is if you want to kind of reactivate that cellular step, I don't know if it's actually in the settings of the app, or you might have to potentially, I don't think so, kind of refresh your Apple Watch from start and go through that process. I just don't know if there's just a quick shortcut to be like, okay, now I want to turn on cellular. The other thing that I do want to bring up is, and I mentioned this in my review, if you are someone who was on a grandfather data plan, almost all of those, and I'm talking about a plan that's easily 5 years old or more. Mine was like 8, 9, 10. I've had the same data plan forever because I wasn't trying to pay more. They're going to ask you to upgrade to some sort of a modern plan. These are the words that they use with me for a modern device to work with it. They said their system had no way of attaching a new Apple Watch LTE to an old data plan, which means you're going to have to pay more for your data plan in addition to $10 more for the Apple Watch to work on it. So there's finances here that Apple just made it say like, hey, $10 more to go on your plan. Like they told me $20 more. So what I did is I went to customer service. I went to this area on AT&T called like customer loyalty. I looked at all the plans. I found out how much data I typically use right now, period. And I found a plan that technically it is a semi-unlimited. It was called I think Mobile Share Advantage is the name of the plan. But I was able to get 20 gigs, and then once I hit 20 gigs, it throttles down the speed, which I'm like, fine. But I only had to pay $5 more for this new plan instead of the initial $20 they were telling me to. Then you add on the 10, so really I'm paying $15 more than I used to, but at least I'm not paying $30 more.
Okay, so that's just if you want the watch, right? You had to get a whole new plan for your phone too.
Yeah, I had to get a whole new data plan.
Oh man!
Again,
see, right there, they lost me.
A modern plan for a modern device. It's called BS. We just want more money.
Yeah, they lost me right there, man. I will not upgrade because I'm grandfathered big time.
And I'm telling you, most of you, here's the thing: you've got to really be able to commit and are the type of person that will use your watch when you're working out without a phone. If you don't do that, I really don't think there's any reason to buy the Series 3 watch LTE version. I think if you just go from an original Apple Watch and you're a fan and you want to get the 3rd gen, it's going to be a great upgrade because of the speed and performance in the Siri. But don't get the LTE version if you're someone that doesn't work out. It serves no purpose other than, okay, fine, I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm going to be gone away from my phone, but you're typically going to have your phone with you when you go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's a really specific use case, and you've got to figure out if it's worth it before you do that. It was worth it for me, and I'm very happy because that's what I wanted my watch to do.
And 20 gigs, I blow through 20 gigs like boom.
Do you know what your monthly is about?
Like 30 maybe.
Really?
Something like that. 25.
Oh, damn.
Because I'm streaming constantly. Constant stream.
Yeah. I'm actually around 16 per month, they told me.
Oh, really? So I get to 16 like halfway through the month, and then they start sending me the text that they're going to start throttling me after I get to 20 or something.
Yeah.
And then I do notice like the slowness, and I'm like, you're throttling me.
You better use that work Wi-Fi more, Beach.
I do.
You gotta get on that work Wi-Fi more.
Yeah. If it works.
Yep.
If it works.
That's true too. There's so many times where I turn off the work Wi-Fi. I'm like, this is crap.
I know. It's terrible.
It's blocking me from Ticketmaster again. Forget y'all.
Yeah. All right. Next call.
Hey guys, Fred from Jersey. Quick question. You see all the technology they put in with facial recognition. Do you really think that the under-the-screen fingerprint ID was ever in the works? And second question, do you think that we'll see it in the next generation of iPhones? Thanks, guys. Love the show.
I think that if they can get it right, it will be in the next iPhone. That's why I feel like this is like an iPhone 9.5. There are multiple reports and evidence that they absolutely were trying to put it in this phone. They have multiple patents over the years that have shown that they already had the patents for fingerprint sensing through a screen without a physical button. So there's no way they weren't working on it. But again, we have to look at the industry as a whole. Samsung had a problem with it. I believe it's Qualcomm, the company that says they will have a under the fingerprint screen sensor ready to go by the end, I think mid to end of 2018. You've got to imagine that Apple is working on their own. So combine all that, I hope that they get it done by next year, because I think it could be a really powerful combination depending on what you use facial scanning for versus what you use your fingerprint for, and how they can complement each other. I think you can do some really cool things if both of those things are there. You know, I think that was the goal, quite honestly. And for whatever reason, I think Apple, although they tried and tested it, just from a pure aesthetics reason, they were not willing to put a fingerprint sensor on the rear of the phone. And I wish they did. It has never bothered me. It has never bothered me. People are like, put it on the Apple logo. Well, it's not that easy.
And have the Apple logo light up.
Make the Apple logo be the fingerprint sensor that lights up and then takes you off into space. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But
that's what they did with the Pixel, though. It's on the back, right?
Yeah, it's on the perfect spot. It
looks fine, too.
I really feel like LG was the first company that did this, if I recall right. I feel like it was LG that was the very first one that put that fingerprint sensor in the back. And when you pick up the phone, it's totally there. It's not that bad. I feel like the way that your hand naturally grabs a phone in general, your fingerprint is there same amount of time your fingerprint moves down to push on the bottom of the front screen. So
yeah.
I do expect it next year. I just hope that they can get it done.
All right, next call.
Hey, Beach and Tong. This is Alex, all the way from the East Coast here.
Did you already hear that guy? Or
I don't know. Keep playing him.
Sorry.
Hey, Beach and Tong. This is Alex, all the way from the East Coast here in Miami. I just wanted to give a quick comment on something that Beach said on the last episode about the Lightning port not being connected really well to the iPhone and being really loose. Same thing happened to my iPhone 6, and what I found out was lint stuck inside that little port inside the phone. So went in there real carefully with a little toothpick. You'd be surprised how much lint I got out of there. And then once I tried the Lightning port back in there, bam, it was stuck on really good. Wouldn't get any of those connections and the whole not charging issue and whatnot. So anyway, just wanted to give that old but still good tip to you guys. Maybe it works. Hopefully it does. All right, guys, love the show. Take care.
Yeah, baby.
Oh,
I had a lot of people tweet me about that on your behalf.
Yeah, me too.
Did you try that?
I haven't had time. I haven't had time, but I'm gonna try it, and maybe I'll take some pictures of my lint if I pull some out.
Hey, this is lint. This place is lint.
We're all lit, man.
This is so lint.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's in my pocket all the time, so I'm sure there's lint from my pants or whatever.
Your hoodies, your little soft little sweaters. And,
I've had this thing for like 2.5 years now.
All your sweater vests.
Yeah.
It's all linty in your sweater vest.
My sweater vest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your sweater vest. I
don't wear any sweater vests.
Your
cardigans.
Your Patagonia D-bag vest.
I got my Roadshow. I got my Roadshow jacket here.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend our listeners, but the Patagonia vest on top of a baby blue collared poplin shirt is the biggest D-bag thing I've ever. It's just horrible. Just stop it, guys. Just stop it already.
That's funny.
Although someone would say this would insult my hair just as easily. So
yeah.
But I'm just saying, stop that already. I hate that. It's the worst.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Next call, last call for alcohol. Here we go.
Hey guys, this is Ricky from Dallas, Texas. I just want to mention about the low power for the iOS 11. What I've been doing is I just been putting my phone in low power mode, and it's been working just fine. So I don't have to really worry about that. So if that helps anybody, there you go.
Low power mode.
Yeah, man, but like when you're in low power mode, you can't do like nearly half the stuff.
You lose a lot of stuff, like notifications.
Okay, here, let me read this all. Okay. I mean, it's saying my man, you are totally right. Okay, you can even do things like like Beecham said, turn off certain locations. I think location services on certain apps. I think the biggest one is if you want to reduce the fetch on your email.
Oh yeah.
Instead of it doing in real time, just make it do like every half hour, unless you really got to get that. Actually, you should be careful because all these all these Instagram museums are like so hot right now. Like the Color Museum, the Ice Cream Museum, 29 rooms. Look them all up, okay?
Yeah.
Like their tickets are so hard to get that they'll send you an email when the tickets are available.
Really? I don't even know.
But if you're not
the ice cream one, but what do they have to do with Instagram?
It's like they're visually just like dope rooms, whether like the color factory or color museum.
I do see people Instagramming those places all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So they're rooms basically made for the Instagram generation. It's for the IG. It's like,
it's annoying.
Oh, you're so cool. You went to another Instagram museum. Great. Congratulations.
I'm in a pit full of balls.
Yes.
Jumping in the pit. Look.
Guess what? I'm the 35th person with a yellow pit ball picture. Congratulations.
Boomerang. I'm boomeranging.
Congratulations. All right. Yeah, exactly. Boomerang, IG, Facebook, Twitter. All right, low power. Here, let me just break down everything you'll lose if you go into low power mode. I've only gone to low power mode when it was like 10%. I knew it was going to be out for a long time. I'm like, I just hope this gets me through, but it doesn't. Low power mode temporarily reduces power consumption until you can fully charge your iPhone. When this is on, mail fetch, Hey Siri, background app. Oh, dude, it just set off my Siri. Damn it. Blank Siri, background app refresh, automatic downloads, and some visual effects are reduced or turned off.
Okay, so no notifications still work then.
Well, background app refresh
is
typically kind of tied to automatic downloads. Yeah, no, just I mean, mail fetch is
It's like living with a cast on, kind of. You know, like he's like, oh, I'm just gonna wear a cast. It'll be fine.
Or you could get an Apple Watch LTE for $400 and then pay $10 more a month and update your plan and just get gouged up the you know what. There's solutions out there, guys.
Yeah.
There's always a solution.
Tough solutions.
A bunch of first world solutions.
Yep.
Bunch of first world solutions. All right, man.
That's it, man.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of the show again. If you want to call us and get interactive with us, it's what's the phone number again?
1-800-616-2638.
38. Call us, everybody. All right, that's it for this week. We will be back next week. Thanks so much, Beecham. You're the man. Nothing but love. Beach and Tong
it's
represented.
Awesome having you here, as always.
I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Okay, good.
So we'll do it again.
Sweet.
All right, Beach and Tong signing off. Take care. Be safe, everybody. Peace.